Very good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to four-part series on prompt engineering for traders and investors. So probably this is something that we are doing after a very long time, something brand new, a very new concept for traders and investors to improve their productivity and to think faster and to make better trading and investment decisions in the markets. I'm sure this is going to be a new skill that you will be learning in the next four series. So in today's session, we're gonna get introduced to some of the basic concepts like what is a generative AI, what is large language models. Now, how many of you use large language models like ChatGPT? Like you can just simply type it out in the chat box. Yes, there is a chat box down there. You can type it out, and as usual, the session is getting recorded. The recorded session will be available in the Market Calls learning portal itself. So how many of you use ChatGPT like for trading purpose or investment purpose? All right. Mahmood Khan says like he is using. Jagan says he is using for like 3-4 months. All right, great. Let's quickly try to understand what is a generative AI is all about. See, generative AI is like it's kind of an AI tool, kind of an artificial intelligence model, which can create something new. That the content can be like it could be a text content, or it could be an image, it could be a video, or it can be music, right? So it trains on large quantity of data. The model is trained on a huge quantity of data, like terabytes and terabytes of data. The model has been assigned to learn on all those data set, and it tried to come up with a human-like content creation. For example, it can write stories, it can draw pictures, it can even compose music. Right? It can even write a song as well. And in a simple terms, we can say like it is kind of a digital brain. So you ask questions, the generative AI come up with an suitable answers. So it can help you in assisting in your learning. Let's say you want to learn option trading, it can help you out on that. Or let's say you want to learn some concepts like price action or volume spread analysis, or some complex concepts like market making, liquidity providing, those kind of complex concepts that you want to know about it. Or you're finding some very interesting article or very interesting research material about trading or investing, and you're not really able to understand the mathematics behind that. You want to know, get deeper into that. So you want somebody who can explain in a very simple terms to you back. So then these generative AI models are highly helpful in explaining complex subjects, right? So generative AI is like something it generates new. Within generative AI, we have another subdivision called large language model. Now, these large language model, it can understand and generates human-like text content. And it is trained on vast amount of data. It can understand like a human, how a human can respond the same way the large language model can respond. So basically what it does is like it's something called some token predictions. It can answer your queries, it can write stories, it can summarize the information, and even it can continue conversation with you. Now all it does is something called token prediction. It always predicts the next token. Let's say when I say like the sky is what? The sky is blue. So it comes then continuation of a conversation. Of course, it is like a smart tool which can communicate in our own language. For example, I'll go to ChatGPT here. I'm going to open ChatGPT. I'm sure you guys might be already using it, but for the people who are very new to ChatGPT, let's say like I'll go to this ChatGPT. I'm gonna say like one is it can understand human-like conversation. So tell me what is a straddle. I can say like that. So this is what we call as a prompt. A prompt is a question that we ask to the model, and we expect some sort of explainer, or what are the questions I'm asking, I'm expecting to respond back. So here I can say like, tell me what is a straddle. And I also give some conditions as well. So it's not like a plain vanilla. I'm gonna straight away, I'm not gonna say like, hey, tell me what is a straddle. I'm also want to like provide examples. Provide example with respect to Nifty. I also ask the model to imagine. So imagine the Nifty spot at 25,600. Okay, so I'm just giving some values to that. And I'm also giving like 25,600 call option. C means call option. The model is capable of understanding the human-like conversations. Is that, let's say, like 100 rupees premium. And let's say 25,600 put option is at like rupees, let's say 120 rupees premium. So if the moment I type enter, so assume that it's assume that it is September 2024 contract, and expiry is on 26th September 2024. So I'm just giving a task like this. I'm also giving an more details about that contract, expiry, premium, all those details. So now it will try to explain me with a suitable explainer over here. Let's say just type enter. So immediately you can see like it will start explaining what is the straddle is all about. And it's coming up with an examples. And what will be the total cost of the straddle? What is the possible scenarios? So when our prices, Nifty is rising about 26,200, what will happen? Where is my break-even point? What if Nifty falls down to 25,000 levels? Or if Nifty is staying between 25,600, what will eventually happen? It comes up with a reasoning. Now, what these models are really good is like, it is really good with reasoning. Of course, it does a lot more things, but when it comes to markets, it is really good in reasoning. So here, whatever the prompt I had given is like more of an text prompt over here. Now I can also give an image prompt as well. Let's say, so this is like my Nifty chart. And this is like kind of an one of my indicator which I'm using. Maybe I'll not use that. I'll draw an simple Bollinger Band out of it. I'm going to bring some basic Bollinger Bands. So here is Bollinger Band area charts, right? And I also bring some RSI charts as well for simplicity. So I'll go to indicators. I'll go to RSI. Yeah, so we have this. Okay. Just export the image here. I'm going to save this image to the desktop. I'll say like Nifty daily charts. Now I can feed this image as an input to the model. Let's say like I'm just going to feed this image as an input to the model. Maybe I'll open a new thread here. I'll attach the image. So the image is Nifty daily chart, right? So Nifty daily chart. So I'm going to ask like, tell me more about the technical conditions of Nifty daily chart. Now it reads the image. So like how a basic trader who understands the patterns. Now this also able to understand what is happening here. I never said like I'm using a Bollinger Band. So from the chart itself, it is able to understand that I'm using a Bollinger Band chart, and it's also able to understand that I'm using an RSI. And it is coming up with an explainer where the Bollinger Band is trading. The price is trading near to the upper Bollinger Band, which indicates that potential overbought and oversold, kind of an overbought kind of conditions, right? So it can come up with that basic explainer. It understands how the Bollinger Band works, which is overbought, which is oversold. Generally, we use the Bollinger Band for what? Overbought or oversold kind of situation. So these models are trained on vast amount of data, including technical analysis, the basic technical analysis, and of course, some of the advanced technical analysis also, right? So it can be a good teacher in helping you in explaining things or in summarizing things. So here is like RSI and what is the recent price action, or what is the support and resistance and key levels. You'll be able to come up with like how a basic 1-year-old trader or investor in the markets, what kind of knowledge they have. That similar knowledge, ChatGPT also has that. Now let's go one step beyond. Now, what these models can also do is like some boring lectures. Let's say like some of the boring lectures are maybe powerful but boring lectures. Let's say like something like so Van Tharp YouTube. Let's say we'll try to get some Van Tharp lectures in YouTube. Do we have anything like Van Tharp lectures, big lectures most likely? Let's directly go to YouTube, and from there we search for Van Tharp. Van Tharp position pricing. Okay, let's take this Van Tharp super trader, make profits in good and bad markets. Or maybe I want to know about Kelly criteria. Okay, so let's say I just want to know about Kelly criteria. So what I can do is like I can just copy this and I go to some YouTube YouTube to text summarizer. The YouTube summarizer. Not every YouTube summarizer works, but let's check this out. So here's the complete YouTube link. I'll ask it to summarize. So I think this is not working out. So it takes a complete summary of it. Like, so here is the complete summary of the text content. So what you can do is like you can it automatically summarize the content over here. What is the key highlights? What he had spoken mostly in that. Or you can also take the raw content of this, copy the raw content, come to your ChatGPT, and ask. Here you can ask to summarize the content, or summarize the Kelly criteria. Then you paste the complete transcription and press enter, and you should be able to go back. So this is like lines and lines of content. It is unstructured content. Now these content has been taken by ChatGPT, and it provides an clear-cut information about what is the Kelly criteria, So what is it? Explain in that video. Maybe the video could be running for like hours, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours of video. So now it gives you a brief summary about what it is all about. What is the formula, major formula consist of? So Kelly criteria consists of 4 factors: equity balance, expected return, probability of winning, probability of losing, right? So it comes up with some simple, fast explanations about it, like where this is used, why it is used, what is the importance of the Kelly criteria. And you can also ask follow through questions also. It's not like only just summarization. You can say like, just select it and then say like, explain more about it. Explain with an example. Explain with an example. Okay, like this, you can ask a follow through questions also. So now it comes up with an explanation. So it is coming in with a dollar-based example. Maybe I'm not comfortable with a dollar-based example. I want more of an Indianized example. So then you can say like, I want example related to Indian markets. You see that it's coming up with some certain numbers. So here it is mentioned in terms of dollar terms, but maybe I just want to be explaining in Indian terms, Indian markets, and use Indian rupees. Rupees instead. So now if I say, now it comes up with more better explainers related to Indianized examples. Right? So now we can say like, let's say you're a trader with like 10 lakhs of capital in total equity, and you're following a strategy in Nifty 50 futures. The analysis shows that you win 60% of your trades and lose 40% of the time. So then how to calculate the Kelly criteria if the risk reward ratio is like 2:1? So then based on that, it's applying the formula. It's saying like how much position sizing you should do. So what is the fractional Kelly is all about. So it gives more detailed examples about that. See, from a video, we've taken the video summary of it, we feed into ChatGPT, and then it gives a summary of it. We ask some examples. So now it produces examples with the explainers, with the mathematical equations. So point by point, it helps you to understand what a Kelly criteria is all about. Right? That is the beauty of these large language models. Now, not only that, it can it can make a conversation in English, like Hindi and English, like English. Like you can say like, "Arey bhai, tera naam kya hai? Tera naam kya hai?" Now it can also respond back in English. You see that मेरा नाम ChatGPT है, आपका किसी सवाल का जवाब देने में मदद कर सकता हूँ. Like it can converse in your own language. The way if I try to, my mother tongue is like Tamil. If I ask questions in Tamil plus English, that's what we call as Tanglish. So let's say like I'm asking like உன்னோட பேர் என்ன, like what is your name, and it's asking me like என்னோட பேர் ChatGPT உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது கேட்கணுமா, like it's asking me like my name is ChatGPT, would you know any, if you do you want any help, that's what it's asking me. It's responding back in Tanglish. So likewise, Kannada English, it can speak. Telugu plus English, it can speak. Or Marathi English, it can speak. Like any kind of English, it can speak, right? And that's pretty interesting. And not only that, it can recognize patterns in the text content, like a normal humans do. For example, let's say like I had done this in many of my sessions. So can you understand what it is I had written? I'm sure maybe if you're looking it for like another 1 hour, a minute or so, less than a minute, you can able to figure out what I had written. So what I had written is like, this is a jumbled word. Can you try to reconstruct it? So the moment I say this kind of jumbled words, like a human eyes, how as a human eye can see the pattern, you can also see the pattern over here. And that is dangerous and alarming also. Usually it will be a bit faster, but it's not thinking. These machines are not meant for thinking. So maybe I think some issue with this. Maybe sometimes the traffic will be pretty high. So let's say like I'll open another one. I paste the same content. Got stuck. Yeah. So it looks like the words are jumbled. Here is a corrected sentence. So there's a jumbled word. This is a jumbled word, and you try to reconstruct it. Right? How a human being can look into the word and how they can reconstruct the word. I never said that it's a jumbled word. Of course, I said it in the text itself. It's able to understand that the jumbled words. It's able to realign it. So it's see like how our human brain works. Similarly, these ChatGPT is also nothing but what? This like kind of a digital brain. So when you are interacting with these things, you are interacting with a digital brain, and you can get the work done, what the work you want, what you are assigning the work, you'll get it done. So a lot of use cases are there. We'll see one by one. But before to that, we'll get some basics here. So we learned what a large language model is capable of. Here are some of the popular large language models. Of course, the top one right now is ChatGPT. And then we have Google Gemini. ChatGPT is like funded by Microsoft heavily. And Grok is from Elon Musk. Claude 3.5 is funded by Amazon. And then we have Facebook Meta. Llama 3.1 is the latest model. Anthropic, they have like Claude 3.5. Gemini, they have like Gemini 1.5, Flash, and Grok. It's one of the powerful models. All these models are like powerful models. Other than that, a lot of tons and tons of models are there. Like Mistral is there, Falcon is there. Like a lot more models are there. But among that, these are like one of the popular and superior models. Now we have something called LM-SIS Arena. LM-SIS Arena, they rank which model is better. Now, right now, last week, ChatGPT had launched a model called O1 Preview and O1 Mini. So these are like super powerful models. Particularly, it is designed for reasoning, human level, PhD level reasoning, which can think before saying something. And it also explains you about the thinking process. Now, when it comes to LM-SIS Arena, you can go to, so here is LM-SIS Arena. Or lmarena.ai. So that's the newest portal of them. So there you can go back and check. You can compare models, different models you can compare. Like they have like arena battle side by side, or you can go back and ask a question. So here they have given like model 2, model A and model B. They don't reveal which model is what. I can go back and ask a question. So here I can ask a question saying like, let's say the same questions, whatever I asked the same question here. Sometime back we had a question, right, about straddle. Same questions I'll ask. So this is a question I'm going to ask. Tell me, what is a straddle? Provide example with respect to Nifty. Imagine Nifty spot at 25,600. So and so value I'm just giving over here. The same value is what I'm going to give over here. Now, if I send simultaneously, there are two models. Model A and model B is going to respond. And you have to tell which model is better. Right? It's kind of a competition among the models. Which model reasoning capability is good? So which model is better in terms of explaining? So what do you think? Which model looks better? I think model B looks like better to me. It's giving me like profit and loss scenario, profit zone. right? So it's also giving me some key points to remember as well. It keeps continuing. So for me, it's like maybe the B looks better to me. Now, once the B is better, it says which model it is. The model B is from Grok 2 Mini. It's from Elon Musk model. Yes, reasoning capability of Grok 2 is impressive. And then there is another model called Sharp Game Player V3. Right? So you can compare the model. The model battle happens. So based upon your voting, the model weightage will be decided, and then it goes to the leaderboard. The leaderboard measures various metric. So every model, right? So there are certain models which are good in coding. Some models are, you can see, like if I select which model is good for coding, it should come up with an criteria over here. So it's trying to prepare the category. So you can see that O1, the recent model which is released by ChatGPT is the one which is topping up. Mostly the top 3 slots are from ChatGPT, and then followed by Claude 3.5. Particularly for coding, I personally use ChatGPT and Claude 3.5, right? And then we have, like, maybe if you want to solve it for like mathematics. So let's say you want to do some mathematics. So which model is better? So it comes up with some, so based upon the historical data it had collected from various users, it tells which model is better. It also has its own ranking as well. So based upon the ranking and voting, it prepares that leaderboard. So you can see that when it comes to mathematics, O1 and O1 preview is the one which is topping out, followed by that Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So from here we can see which model is from whom, right? So this is from OpenAI, ChatGPT. This model is from OpenAI, and Claude 3.5 is from Anthropic. Gemini 1.5 Pro is from Google, and so on. So that is with LM Arena. So if in case you want to use a certain model, try to check where it is standing, at what level. So almost all the models has been listed over here. All the popular models, lots and lots of models are there, right? So before to that, you just check before using. There are a lot of ways you can use it. It's not only for mathematics. You can use it for instruction following, coding, hard prompts, longer queries, languages, for grammars. You can use it, right? So various methodologies you can use it. And let's get back here. So a lot of models are good in image generators as well. So these are some of the top models which are used for image generation, where you can give text prompt, and you can generate images. So this is like the center one which you're seeing is like from Black Forest Labs. So they have a couple of models like Flux Pro, Flux Dev, Flux Snell kind of models. And then Mid-Journey, Stable Diffusion. These are like old guys who are quite popular, but recently the space is occupied by 2 people, like Black Forest Labs and Ideogram. They can generate beautiful images. And DALI 3 from ChatGPT itself, inside ChatGPT, it comes with DALI 3 where you can generate images as well. Of course, it is available only in the paid plan. Not that great in generating images, but I would say, like, I'll show you an example from Ideogram, how it looks like. So this is from Ideogram. So here I have a prompt. I'm saying, like, the background should be a sleek, modern workspace setting with a laptop, planner, and some marketing materials visible, graph, social media icons. It should have a text. The text element should be saying like prompt engineering for traders and investors. The color scheme should be like neutral tones with accents of blue and green to convey trust and growth. So if I click on generate, I just choose the size and I'll say like generate. Now what it does is like it will start generating those images, beautiful images, of course. So what prompt that you had given, it exactly try to follow your instruction, and it generates an images artistically. Of course, still it's generating images. So now it looks like a trash, but slowly you can see that it's getting transformed. And yes, now we can see that this is like, so among this, I think this sounds looking good to me. Look at that, prompt engineering for traders and investors. It comes up with an some planners, graphs, some cards we are having. and we are having like some social media icons we are having. So one of the instructions that I had given, it exactly following those instructions, and it generates an image out of it. So based on the whatever the context I had provided. Now this is with image generation, right? And not only that, it can also comes up with like sound, voice, and music generators. So here are some of the popular one for uh, audio, music, and voice generators. Like 11 Labs, quite popular for text to speech. And then Suno, very popular one for generating music. I'll show you music which I generated about stock markets. So this is like a prompt which I had given some time back. Create a song on stock markets. Now it had written the song, and so just listen to the song here. I think here is a song. Here it goes.
Fall, green today, red by the wall. Fortune's here and fortune's gone. Traded fast before it's dawn. Bulls are charging on the street. In the rush, they're hard to beat. Bears, they come and bring the night. Hold on tight, it's quite a fight. Buy low, sell high. It's the way we fly. Risk it all in the sky.
I mean, the song goes for like 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. The song goes on, but the point here is like whatever the audio that you are hearing, that is like not a real human. The music, what you are hearing, is not a real. The instrument is running in the back end. It's everything has been synthesized automatically by an AI model here, right? And then we have like 11 labs. So here is 11 labs. So what it does is like kind of an audio generator where I can choose somebody else, some AI voice, or I can train my own voice. And I can also even there's something called, they have like dubbing studio, voiceover. These are like if I have already my video in let's say in English, I want to convert into Hindi. I just feed into 11 labs. I train my voice, and then my same voice. Right now, the tone what you're hearing, the same tone, same pitch. Right now, I'm speaking in English. The same tone I can replicate with Hindi. I can replicate with Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati, Odisha. Whatever the language I want, I can replicate it. Right, so here is a sample. That what you're going to hear is like it's kind of an some English, some Indianized English tone is what you're going to hear. An AI voice clone name called Raju. So I'm just generating here.
Welcome, traders. Gear up for insightful market analysis, actionable strategies, and tools to enhance your trading journey. Let's navigate the markets with confidence and precision. Happy trading!
So if you could see here, what you are actually getting here is like whatever the text what I had typed, it's converted into like an AI voice. Of course, this is something not new. We would have seen it like in many of the software application. But what I'm going to show you is like something like, let's say Grok. We'll go to grok.com. So here, this is called like an kind of an AI inference engine. Now, this AI inference engine, I can ask questions like, what is Nifty? That is not the real context over here. Let me log in first. Now, there is another model which I want to use is like, probably, I think maybe I should go for Grok console. Grok console. Yeah. So here, if I go to the Grok console, you can select various models. So this Gemini is from Google. Llama 3 is from Facebook. Like Llama 3.5 is from Meta. And then we have Mixtral and Whisper large V3 model. This is what something pretty interesting. Now, where I can convert my exact voice into text. So let's say like, I'll try to record my voice here. Hey everyone, this is Rajendran here joining from Market Calls. And today we're going to talk about prompt engineering basics for traders and investors. So I just stop the voice and then I'll submit. Now what you'll be getting is like you'll be getting an exact transcription of what I had spoken so far. Right? So the entire audio, you can send an audio file also. You can attach an audio file as well. Now what you get is an exact transcription. So maybe these kind of things could be useful in a medical transcription. Or many fields, it will be pretty much useful, these kind of models. Now what you can also is like, you can also get a code out of it and you can build a software out of this. That's the beauty about it. It means what you can say is like, hey, I want to place 100 Reliance shares. So you just say as a voice, we can take the data, we can convert that voice into text. And from the text, we can process the text to place the orders. We can format the text, convert into a structured format, get the keywords like Reliance, 100, shares, and then convert into an order. So those kind of things are possible with these kind of models. The model is like a Whisper large V3 model. It is an open source model from ChatGPT, like OpenAI itself. So we know what is a prompt by now. Various places we had given a prompt. A prompt can be a text prompt. It can be an image prompt. Even the prompt, whatever I given is like, it can be an audio prompt also. Audio also I can give as an input to the models. Audio, video, a lot of video generation, text to video generation tools are there. Runaway ML is there. Stable diffusion is there. And then we have like what Kling is there. So generally prompt is nothing but a specific instruction or a question you give to an AI to get a very useful response. So for particularly trader, it'll be like asking the AI for market insights. So tell me the latest trends in Nifty, or what is the outlook for Bitcoin. So then AI will try to come up with whatever it knows from its knowledge base. It tries to understand. It tries to come up with answers. Sometimes it will be connected to the internet as well. For example, let's say like I'll go to the ChatGPT again. So here I'm going to ask a question. This time I'm going to say like, tell me top 10 latest happenings in Indian stock market. Now, when I say the keyword latest happenings, it understands that these models, right, mostly fine-tuned only in the past data only. It doesn't know the future data. The moment I say latest happenings in ChatGPT, what it does is like it will start browsing the internet. So most likely it will be searching for popular platforms like Money Control, Mint.com, or some business websites. And then it comes up with the recent information. What happened in the month of September 2024. According to them, what are the happenings in September 2024? So it comes up with certain things like Nifty hits an all-time high, Manba Finance IPO, foreign investment surge, crude oil rally, right? Some sector rotations are happening. Low volatility indicator, India VIX keeps dropping down. Just India VIX is now around 12.55. RBI maintains status quo. I don't know why RBI came over here. That's like... So falling inflation, Adani Energy Solutions, and HDB. So some of the latest happenings. So not only here, in Grok also, it comes up with, let's say, I can go to Twitter or X platform. So if you are already having a premium account, you'll be eligible to access Grok model as well. So here also you can say like, draw image of Donald Trump. Holding the signboard. With market calls written on it. So it is also good in creating images as well. Of course, it is using a Flux dev model to generate images. You can see that it comes up with Donald Trump holding a simple small signboard saying market calls on it. Or it is also good in latest happenings in the internet world as well. For example, let's say I just want to ask another question. Let's say like, tell me about latest trends in Nifty. So it comes up with a summary of Nifty, what happened recently, right? So it comes up with some brief summary about it. Nifty latest trends was on September 20. So whenever you're getting answers from this, you have to be very careful because we don't know when these values are. For example, it's saying like 28. So basically, it's coming up with the answers mostly from what people are speaking in the Twitter, right? So what people are sharing in the Twitter, most of the times you can see that it also attaching some of those talks, what people are talking about it. So be careful about what you are asking for, because most likely what people, most of the popular people, what they are talking about it, those, based on their information only, it is generating a report and it's giving a summary out of it, right? So when you're using this kind of information, validate that whether the information is true or not. But one thing it is good is like it's good in explaining things. It is good in summarizing things. So Hemang is asking, why don't you try Summary GPT? So I think Summary GPT recently, Summary GPT uses YouTube API. Recently, YouTube, they cut off the YouTube API for everyone, right? So it's not working for anybody. And so the Summary GPT also. So I haven't tried Summary GPT for a while itself. So Mahmood Khan is saying like you have a very wide knowledge on the LLM. It's commendable. So I mean, my expertise is like I've been continuously, or I would say like I would be half of my energy I've been spending on knowing about these LLM models right from November 2022 onwards. November 22 is what still I remember. That is the day GPT-3 got introduced. So since then I hooked out. I mean, I hooked on to learning about these LLM models, their behaviors, the hallucinations, where it is keep making mistakes. What is the strength of these LLM models? What are the various available models? Almost every other day, some new LLM models has been introduced in the markets, right? So one of the tool which I had designed, which I personally using it for myself, is nothing but SketchMaker. So this is like images.marketcalls.in. So this is not for public use. I mean, personally, I'm using it. Let's say what it is good in doing is like it is good in generating YouTube thumbnails, right? Not only that, it can generate blog banners. For example, let's say I want to generate an blog about, or let's say I want to write a blog about Fed likely to cut the rates. So this is the thing which I want to, this is my prompt, basically. I'm going to say like, create a YouTube thumbnail with a Indian 30-year-old man saying Fed likely to cut the rates. With shocking expression. So this is my image prompt. Maybe my image prompt is not exaggerated, but for a YouTube thumbnail, you know, right, it has to be super exaggerated. Most of the YouTube thumbnails, you see that it's more of a clickbaits. So what you can do is like you can this text content, I'm sending it to ChatGPT via API. So here, what we are doing here is like we are basically interacting with the ChatGPT, but here outside ChatGPT in my website, I am saying, hey, enhance this image prompt. Before generating an image, I say like, so now it is saying like this content is coming from ChatGPT 4.0 mini model. Now it's saying like create a vibrant YouTube thumbnail featuring an Indian 30-year-old with a shocking expressions, wide eyes, and open mouth as if gasping. He should be in a foreground wearing a smart casual outfit with a blurred background of financial charts, of dollar bills to emphasize the topic. So now it's over exaggerating the content. And now I just simply generate the image. Now I just generate the image using Flux Pro model, right? So it's completely, it is an AI application. It's a simple Python application which is running in the backend, which is calling the ChatGPT, and from the ChatGPT, what are the output that I am taking? It's now sending it to Flux Pro model, right? And then it's generating an image out of it, like kind of a YouTube thumbnail we are getting now. And this entire application itself, the entire application is built using Python. It's completely again built using ChatGPT itself. Imagine what kind of creativity you can build using ChatGPT. Now, not only that, I also built an complete algorithmic trading platform, which can be connected with multiple brokers. I had totally integrated some 10 brokers here, which can do automated trading with Ami Broker, which can do an automated trading with TradingView, Python, Google Spreadsheets, Excel sheets, MetaTrader, and it's completely available at free of cost. Closely from 15,000 lines of code is there. Now anybody can download this and they can run it as if in their own portal. Of course, privately they can run it. They can run it in their desktop, they can run it in their cloud, they can run it in Windows Server, they can run it in Linux, they can run it in Mac. It's a cross-platform, so you can run it anywhere. Totally 15,000 lines of code completely written by ChatGPT. Of course, maybe some 5% of human contribution is there, but 95% of the content are completely written using ChatGPT. Now, I had said this in many of my sessions. Something not new here. Can it help me in designing a new model if you ask me? Yes. For that, what inputs that you're going to give? What knowledge that you're going to give? So maybe what you can do is like you can take some something like ARXIV, right? So this is the place where we will get like, let's say like trading systems. If I say something like this, you'll be able to find like a lot of interesting trading approaches. Let's say like you want to have this pair trading system. So you want to know more about it. What you can do is like you can download the PDF. Of course, it will be having some lot of complex details about it. So let it download. So this is like summary of the paper. Let me save this as well. Almost 4 MB of data it is. Just save this. Okay, so it got saved. Now I can go to ChatGPT again. Now what I can do is like I can even attach that as a PDF and then ask to explain in a simple terms. So I'll go to the download section. Explain this strategy in simple terms. If possible, use Indian market, or if possible, use examples related to Indian stock markets. I am a common trader, not an expert in statistics or math. So basically, you don't need to be an expert in mathematics or statistics to understand those things. Complex concepts, basically, those research papers are nothing but what? Complex concepts. So it explains point by point. So maybe even if you are very new to trading, so it try to explain what is a pair trading is all about. So example of pair trading in India is like how we can do pair trading with HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, right? So what this document is trying to explain, right? It's trying to explain about the pair trading strategy using a quantum inspired optimization. God knows what is it, what that is all about. But now we can get some simplified examples about it. So what the strategy is explained in that document and how it works. Now, what are the concepts it has been used, right? And some of the simplified examples they are also talking about, like Tata Motors and Maruti, why they are selecting those things, what are the fundamentals factors because of that, why to use that strategy, right? So you can also ask follow through questions as well. So you can ask like what the hell is this, right? So you can ask like what exactly it is. Now, you already said like you are very new to markets, or you're a common trader, not an expert in statistics or math. So you will not use that terminologies of deep mathematics or deep statistical things. So it will try to simplify, it will try to explain in a way a common trader or a common investor can understand. So it is trying to explain what is quantum inspired optimization. So it is using some of the quantum principles, right? So one of the principles used is like quantum superposition. I don't want to go deeper into that. It is also using something like quantum entanglement kind of concepts are used in this particular strategy. Some higher level order mathematics strategy, like mostly they're using some quantum physics kind of stuff they are using over here. So based on that, they are trying to implement the pair trading techniques. So the more the questions you're going to ask, better you're learning about that. So you don't need to be an expert in mathematics and statistics to understand that now. So you can assign the work to the ChatGPT. ChatGPT can behave like your own lecturer, but it can talk in your own language. Now, how traders and investors can take advantage various ways. Maybe if possible, tomorrow I'll give a lot of summarization about it, because we are just only in the day one of the part one of the 4-part series, right? So we can do text or video summarization. Of course, video summarization is possible. You can send the entire video and you can get it summarized. So maybe if possible, tomorrow I'll show you with Google Gemini Pro or Google Gemini 1.5 experimental API. I'll show you how the video summarization works. And then you can explain financial reports, sentimental analysis. Now, you don't need to know about the fundamentals. You can assign the task to ChatGPT kind of stuff. ChatGPT can come up with reading the books. I mean, it can read the books, it can read financial reports, and it can come up with a summary. Or it can even do backtesting. Can it do algorithmic trading? There is one question I'm seeing here. It's from Akshesh Katoria. If I want to learn algorithmic trading, do I need to learn to code? Now, let me tell you one thing, the learning to code has been gone. So now we have to learn how to assemble the code, because the coding has been now done by ChatGPT. Last 2 years, earlier I used to do a lot of hand coding, but last 2 years, I completely leveraged ChatGPT to do the coding. Now, recently you would have seen some of my works, whatever the works which I published in market calls. Let me show you, this is one of the code which I published. So one of the traders said, he sent a mail to me saying that I am not able to get the actual Fisher transform AMI broker AFL code. So I have to feed this model to ChatGPT. I had given I taken the TradingView code. I asked it to convert into PineScript. I mean, from PineScript, I asked to convert into AMI broker AFL code. Now this is the code it had given. It also given with explanations as well. You can see that a lot of explainers it had given what this code is all about. Right. So my duty is to verify whether everything is same or not. Whatever the input I'm getting in TradingView, am I getting the same thing in AmiBroker or not? So writing the code by myself, hand coding, it's good. It's good knowledge. But what I'm thinking is that knowledge could be very soon getting outdated. Let me tell you why. Because the other model which I had done here, let's say like is one of the complex tasks which I had done using ChatGPT O1 preview model, the latest model which has been released last week. September 13 is what I had done this. September 13 is what it is getting released. After the release of within 4 hours, we are able to build this. Like this is one of the complex, I would say like super complex code, SSL hybrid. Maybe you would have seen in TradingView. Right. So let me show you in TradingView how it looks like. It is SSL hybrid, one of the popular indicator in TradingView. Very difficult to replicate. If somebody want to replicate that, minimum they have to spend is like 2 days of effort, 2 days of continuous effort to replicate that. Or maybe if somebody is a super expert, at least 24 hours of effort somebody has to make. 24 hours of effort, continuous effort. I'll go to this indicator. I'll say like SSL hybrid. So you can see that it's one of the popular thing, like 10,896 people starred that as a popular indicator. Now this one right now, after giving it to ChatGPT O1 preview model, this is what I got. Like I just get this complete code written completely by ChatGPT. I mean O1 preview model. God knows what it had done. It done a couple of mistakes also, but I had to keep on talking to that, correcting those mistakes. It's not like one shot I was able to build in. Probably for me, it took like 1 hour to build that. What I am able to achieve in 2 days, or even if I'm going to put a continuous effort, it's going to be like 24 hours of effort. Imagine 24 hours of effort, development effort means, imagine per hour you just going to give to some other coder, you're going to give it something like, let's say like 500 rupees, even if you're going to give per hour charges 500 rupees to build the code. 24 hours of effort means 12,000 rupees of effort, which now I'm able to build within 1 hour at free of cost. Or probably I have to have what? ChatGPT subscription. ChatGPT plus some premium subscription I need to have, and I can get this done here completely. And of course, I have also validated whether the things are working good, whether the values are matching with AmiBroker and TradingView or not. If it is not matching, which one is not matching? The testing work is what mostly I am doing over here. Little do I had done any line, not even a single line of coding done by me. So mostly I just given only prompt only. Most of my prompts to the O1 preview model, one of the complex reasoning model, one of the top model for building codes. Unfortunately, right now it doesn't recognize as images. I can only interact with the text only. I cannot submit a PDF or something like that as of now. But very soon it is expected. It's kind of a baby right now. But it has an fantastic explainers. So maybe tomorrow, if it is possible, I'll try to show you some demo on O1 preview as well, because O1 preview is going to be a game changer for traders. Traders, not only for traders, but also for investors as well. So this is like OpenAlgo. It's completely written using ChatGPT 4.0 model. And then, so we are also come up with an mentorship course on building your own complete trading terminal, full stack trading terminal from scratch using Python. Primarily, we're going to use models, like 2 models we're going to use. One is ChatGPT model. Most likely 4.0 mini is what 4.0 is what we're going to use. And Claude 3.5 Sonnet model. So what we are going to do is like, we're going to take a broker, particularly maybe a sample broker could be like Angel Broking. We're going to take their APIs and we're going to build a trading terminal out of it, complete trading terminal with a lot of innovative features. What most of the brokers, they don't support, like voice-based automation or drilling stop loss based setups, targets, stop loss based entries, and many things, right? So we're going to start this session from 7th of October onwards, completely using ChatGPT. Not even a single line we're going to write. Mostly what we will be doing is like we will be writing the prompts, get the coding done, assemble the codes, and completely make a software out of it. And we'll consume it for ourselves. So that is what we're going to build in the month of October, right? So almost it's like kind of 18 days of effort. So almost like 18 into 2, almost 36 hours of, within 36 hours of time, we're going to build a complete full-fledged trading terminal in Python. So that is what we're going to plan in our upcoming session. All right, so we are at the part 1, we are at the end of the part 1 of the training session. Absolutely, Deepak is asking, is Python knowledge is necessary for this? Maybe a basic Python knowledge is necessary, but doesn't matter. Basic Python, even if you don't know, you can still get the help from ChatGPT and you can learn pretty much faster, right? So Ashok is asking, do we need to know technical knowledge to attend this mentorship program? Absolutely no. Like, so even basic Python knowledge, yes, if it is there, it is good. Even if it is not there, definitely we'll be starting from scratch only. So the thing is like how to assemble those stuff, right? That is what we'll be mostly talking about it. How to write a prompt, how to ask right questions. Continuously we'll be keep on asking prompts and continuously we'll be keep on generating codes. We'll be fixing the issues. Of course, one shot, we're not going to get the straight away, we're not going to get the code. So we have to keep on talking to the LLM model. We have to get the work done. Like how if I want to build some software, it could be any software. It could be an automated trading software. It could be an automated trading strategy or something like TradeTron or something like QuantMan or something like StockMark, some backtesting engine. So anything that you want to build. The thing here is you need to know the web technologies, how the web technologies works. Without knowing the technology, you cannot assemble things, right? So without knowing the technology, you cannot ask right questions. So what the entire session will be like, how you can ask questions once you know the web technology works. When you know how the web technology works, how you can ask questions, how you can build software, how you can build modular software, like so that anybody can understand what is happening at a very granular level. We'll be able to build such kind of tools. So where you can find more information about it, let me show you. So you can always go to learn.marketcalls.in. Go to the courses section. I'm sure you should be able to read over here, build your trading terminal from scratch using Python. So also send the link over here as well. Later on, you can go back and check this out. So Mahmoud Khan is asking how to get the LLMs, get the coding done exactly and promptly. His question is like, I really like your Supertrend 5. I would, which I used a lot for Indian markets in AmiBroker, but unable to convert to PineScript exactly. Of course, you can convert that into PineScript exactly. Maybe you can try the latest model like O1 preview model. As I said, complex models can be easily replicated in O1 preview model very easily. So you have to give a try with that. Of course, sometimes it can be able to solve most of the problems. But some coding knowledge, if it is there, we can try to tell them you are making a mistake here or you're making a mistake there, and it fixes those mistakes and it gives you a proper output. Right. So when we are giving proper instructions, so that is why I said like trying to talk to the LLM model is like trying to talk to a digital brain. So you tell what you want, how you want, you give certain set of instructions, it follows that instruction and it will get the work done, right? Can you give a small gist of O1? It's not OWEN, it's O number 1, right? So let's say like I'll go to ChatGPT here. So this model O1 preview, I'm sure it's not, okay, it doesn't, I had to open a new one. And then here I had to go to something like O1 preview and O1 mini. right? So O1 preview will be like, if I ask any question, the other models like ChatGPT 4o, it will not think. It just simply responds. And every time it is responding, it is not copying from somewhere. Many people think it is copying from somewhere and it is giving. It's not copying from somewhere. It is also not thinking like a human, we human. If I ask something, what did you taken for a breakfast? Nobody will say like, suddenly they will not say like, if I ask what you eat, what you had for lunch today, maybe you would have been able to say that. Maybe if I ask you like, what did you had for lunch 2 days back? Maybe you have to think for a moment. Okay, today is Wednesday. Today is like Saturday. 2 days back, maybe I think my mom or wife was cooking. Okay, probably it's like rice and dal. So you may have to, that some thinking process will be running in your mind, right? The thinking process is what the ChatGPT O1 preview, it just simulates. For example, let's say I'm just asking and slightly same question, whatever I asked here. So we asked the question, right, sometime back. So where exactly it is? Straddle options. Same question I'll ask. Here there is no thinking process at all. It comes up with correct output, but maybe here if I go for an same prompt with an O1 preview model, when I paste the same prompt, you can see that first it says like thinking. So it is trying to understand straddles. It tells what I need to speak. It's running in its thinking process. Now these are not output. It's a thinking process. So what are the things I need to tell to the user? So it has some 4 stages of thinking. It's understanding straddle. So it is gathering information on straddles. It tries to understand what is a straddle is all about, and then mapping out of options, assessing the premium effect, calculating profitable levels, assessing payoff, and then finally it comes up with an final output. Now it is coming in with a final output like this. So it does some thinking process and then it comes up with an output. And it also gives like what profit and loss scenarios in a table format. Right? Of course, it can produce in table format as well. For example, I mean, it's not stopping here. It says like key takeaways, when to use straddle, and it comes up with a conclusion. Right? So this model is even more better in terms of reasoning. It also having a very good mathematics as well. It also explains the formulas, right? So, and then, so it's very brief. Probably I would say like a mini Zerodha Varsity, right? It's in front of you. But Varsity is what? Kind of static. You cannot change the examples. Maybe Varsity examples would have been written like what? Some 5-10 years back when Nifty was like around 5,000 or 7,000 something. But now Nifty is what? 25,000. I want latest example, boss. So ChatGPT is like what? Varsity square or Varsity cube per se. All right, so that is with the O1 preview model. Maybe in the part 2 of the session, a lot more things to explore. I'm sure now this session is all about trying to make you understand what is a prompt is all about. More powerful prompt, how to build. That is what we're going to discuss in tomorrow's session. See you tomorrow. Thank you.